All right, so you want to follow up on something else. What was the something else before you get too much into it?
Well, when General Palmer
Okay,
came
so it's
down,
General Palmer. Cool, hold on. Mary, you were in love with Mary.
yeah,
What happened with Mary?
she went to the University of Missouri.
So basically, you guys got separated.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, she joined the Alpha Chi Omega sorority, and she became very popular. She became a cheerleader. for
College cheerleader.
College cheerleader. And she started dating the star on the football team,
Okay.
the quarterback.
While you were still seeing her, or you guys had
No,
already?
we were kind of split. I didn't know it so much. I kind of found out about it. I think that.
What was Mary's last name?
I think she might have had an influence on me going in the army too.
Okay. What was Mary's last name?
Camp Meinert.
Camp Meinert?
Camp Meinert.
Is that like German?
Yeah.
With a K?
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
Kampmienert.
Okay.
Mary Camp Meinert. Now, interesting thing about that. Her grandfather. Oh, okay. Her father's name was William Camp Meinert, and his father's name was William Camp Meinert. He was a significant investor in Graham Bell. What was his first name? Alexander Graham Bell's
Right. Bell
development
Telephone.
of AT&T Telephone.
Bell Telephone stuff.
Bell Telephone.
I'll be damned.
He was one of the original big-time investors in AT&T,
Okay.
and they had money. But Bill Camp Meinert, I used to eat many, many meals at their home, and they liked me a great deal. They sent their son to somebody's coming in.
Yes, that's your third born son, Ryan.
Hey!
Hey, Ryan, throw this.
How you doing, son?
Make a place to sit.
Yeah.
You're gonna sit right there. Okay,
You got
so
wet, did you?
all right, so
How'd you get so wet?
okay, so Mary, you're talking about the camp miners.
Huh?
Grab a seat.
Mark?
Sorry.
Yeah, so anyway, William Camp Meinert Sr. was a major investor in AT&T.
Okay, this is his college girlfriend that he was in love with. And we're getting the details.
Yeah, he's doing all kinds of tapes.
Yeah. So okay, you had many meals at their house.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so Bill, he liked me so much. We went down to a couple times. He wanted to know how serious I was, particularly after I graduated from high school, about his daughter. And we went down to the River Queen on St. Louis on the waterfront. He took me to a bar. He taught me about drinking gimlets.
Okay.
That was gin with an olive in it and all that other stuff. And he kind of liked me. But he was the vice president of Olin Matheson.
Of what? Olin Matheson?
Yeah.
Which is what type of?
Winchester Arms Ammunition.
Oh, Olin. Olin.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Olin
Winchester.
Matheson had their main headquarters in, my friend Fred Lane lived there. It was across in Alton, Illinois.
Yeah, Olin's from Alton. Yeah.
Alton, Illinois.
Yeah, they're still there, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. So anyway, and then he had invested in DuPont.
Okay. All right.
Well, anyway,
so he was checking you out to see how interested you were in or serious about his daughter.
Yeah.
Was she beautiful?
Oh yeah. Yeah. She was knockout.
Yeah.
And we had a folk song group together. We sang on TV once.
Okay.
It's called the Good News Singers, and we performed at 2 fairs. I was the lead singer, and we had Joel Barker played the guitar, and then we had another gal, Nancy Treadway. She moved to California though, and Joel moved to Seattle, I think, after high school. And then Nancy Purdy played guitar. We had 5 people, and Mary So Mary and I sang.
All right. So now, when you were in love with her, like
Oh,
you
yeah.
had
4 or 5 years.
strong emotions.
Oh yeah.
How hard was it on you when you guys split?
Well, when I
Geography separation kind of helps with that.
oh yeah, geography did, and then the fact that actually I had come home on that after college, and she ended up marrying the guy.
Oh yeah, she married him. But what did you guys do? Did you guys talk and decide that you just were split up on distance, or you tried to maintain the distance, or saw each other for a little while in college, separate colleges?
Tried to, but it didn't work.
Yeah, because she was popular and hot and became a cheerleader, and one thing leads to
You know,
another,
Chi
and
Omega, and
one thing leads to another, and there it
peer
is.
pressure.
Yeah. Which she probably wasn't a virgin anymore by that time.
Probably not.
Yeah. I got you.
So
Okay, so that covers that. Now you're talking about the general that pinned the Bronze Star on you. What is that?
okay,
Parker?
So
You're already in Vietnam at this point in time.
his sergeant major,
His sergeant major, which is okay, all right.
top enlisted man, was there.
Okay.
And his name was Van Autreef.
Van Autreef.
Sergeant Major Van Autreef.
How would you spell Autreef? Van Autreef.
Autrive.
Okay, Autreef. Okay.
Interesting thing about him.
Yeah.
After I had gotten out of the Army, I came back into the Army,
Yeah. Okay.
and I had made E6, and now I get sent to Germany,
Okay.
and I had a college degree.
By that time, right?
I was lieutenant.
Lieutenant, which is before captain.
I was a second lieutenant.
Second lieutenant,
I
okay.
graduated out of officer candidate school.
Okay.
I was the honor graduate in Fort Benning, Georgia, on the Dragon missile. I was the honor class. I was the honor graduate in my class on the TOW missile. I had graduated.
So your Hawk missile training carried on into these other missiles.
Yeah.
And what kind of like a technician on
These
how
were
to
infantry. Yeah, I could.
how to use them, or how to
instructor qualified
on how to use them
on how to use them.
and launch them.
Yeah, the Hawk missile had a range of 3,000 meters. It was a tank killer.
3,000 meters. Okay.
The Dragon missile.
But the Hawk missile could do the airplanes too, right?
40 miles.
Could kill an airplane 40 miles away or a tank. So
It was used on air defense.
okay.
3 missiles on a launcher, a hydraulic launcher,
Right.
controlled by a Doppler radar.
Okay.
Got a Doppler, and you got a radar signal coming out of the nose cone. It controlled by, you got what they call pulse acquisition. That's the big radar that goes around like this, and then you got the continuous wave radar that shoots a signal out, locks on an aircraft. That signal bounces back to the nose cone. The missile flies right into the aircraft.
Okay.
All right.
So then you're on the
But now
Dragon.
so anyway, I got the Dragon, I got the Hawk, and I've got airborne.
And the third
and
missile.
I've got a Bronze Star. I've got a Staff Sergeant rating.
Wait,
I go to Germany.
from your first time in Vietnam, so you got the Bronze Star.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I go to Germany as a Staff Sergeant,
Okay.
and they sent me down to the 7th Corps.
When you say staff sergeant, is that before?
E6.
Before being lieutenant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and staff. I was a 23-year-old Staff Sergeant.
Okay. Young. Okay.
The average Staff Sergeant was like 32, 33 years old, so I was 10 years ahead of my
10 years younger. 10 years
younger.
more advanced.
Yeah.
10 years further along
With a college
potentially
degree.
in your career.
with a college degree.
Okay.
And so they sent me to the 7th Corps headquarters. They sent me to the USER headquarters. It was the commander for all of Europe,
Okay.
to interview to be his enlisted specialist in his office. And I was competing with an E7. There were 2 of us selected to
Right.
go interview.
Okay.
Well, the E7 got the job.
Okay.
And so this 4-star general, he congratulated me for being selected to interview with him.
Right.
Okay. Sergeant Major Van Autreve,
Right.
who pinned it with the Bronze Star on me in Vietnam several years before,
Right.
had been contacted that they had a person who might fit the billet for General Desabray's office at the 5th Corps headquarters.
Okay.
And Van Autreve is the sergeant major for Lieutenant General Desabray, the 3-star.
Okay.
So that they sent me from Heidelberg, Germany to Mainz to interview for the job, and they put me in the office with General Desabray.
General Desiree.
Desabray.
Okay.
And that's where all of the plans for the XM1 battle tank,
XM1 or Abrams?
the Abrams,
Is it the same
it's
thing?
called the XM1. at that
XM1
time.
Abrams. You were involved with that.
Yes.
Yes.
All of the secret documents
On the Abrams.
for that Abrams tank went through my typewriter for approval by General Desabray and
Now, when you say Desabray, how do you spell that?
Desobry.
Desabray. Okay.
Desabray was a lieutenant colonel during the Second World War who led the tank battalion that went into Bastogne to free up Bastogne, and the 101st Airborne, who was locked into Bastogne by the Germans, and his tank unit went in and freed Bastogne.
Okay.
All right, well, back to the development of the XM1.
Right.
So there were two
XM1
prime
Abrams.
contractors who were bidding on the development of the drivetrain system and the motor system.
Was GE one of them?
It was General Dynamics
General Dynamics. Okay.
and Chrysler.
Okay. God, Chrysler sucks. Okay.
Okay, so Chrysler and General Dynamics were developing the prototypes for the drivetrain and the motors. And the approval for the development of that tank was dependent upon General Desabray and George Patton Jr.,
Who
was commander of the 3rd Armored Division in Germany, one of the key divisions under the 5th Corps.
Okay.
Now, George Patton was an asshole.
You mean the General George Patton or the junior?
Junior.
So the junior was an asshole.
He was.
Like how
He-
so? Like to
well,
everybody or to you or
or
he was known to be an asshole or how so?
My office
Uh-huh.
was adjacent to General Desabray's office.
Right. Okay.
General
did
Desabray.
you
I
have-
was in
you-
the outer office.
You had your own office?
Yeah, I had a
Okay.
big room.
Okay.
Big room.
As in E7 or E6? E6.
E6.
Right.
Desabray's sitting in there. He's got 2 enlisted aides. He's got a major and a lieutenant colonel.
As aides? He had 2 officers as
2
aides?
officers, aide de camps.
Okay. All right.
All right. Okay. So, and they're sharing this office with me.
Right.
Okay, they're at one end of it, I'm at the other. But the door coming in, and anybody coming in has got to go through my desk to get over there to
Okay.
them.
Right.
And I got the control on who goes there.
Right.
So here comes General Patton in with his
Junior.
with his dad's pearl handle pistols on his.
He's wearing them some
He's
bitches?
wearing them.
What an idiot.
Yeah. And he walks into the office smoking a cigar.
Oh my God, what an idiot.
Yeah.
I can understand why he's an asshole.
Okay.
Was he an asshole just because his dad was General Patton?
Oh, I think so. Well, no, he wasn't an asshole because of that. He was just an arrogant guy.
Yeah, because
You know-
his dad was General Patton.
Like, hey, I'm the commander of the 3rd Armored Division, and I'm here to see the Corps commander.
Yeah.
So I stood up and I said, yes, sir, I understand.
And he's wearing the pearl handle pistols.
He's wearing the pearl handle pistols.
Didn't somebody frown on that in the military?
No, general officers
Can do whatever the hell they want.
design whatever uniform they want.
Okay, I got you.
All right. So he got offended when I told him he had to put out his cigar.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why did you end up telling him that? Because that's the rules, or you just
Yeah,
wanted to tell him
General
that?
Desabray didn't like people smoking in his office.
I got you. That's cool. And what did he say to that?
He
How-
said,
how- how did you say
I think
it?
he said, "I'll be goddamn."
Oh, really? What were your words? What were your words?
You
How'd
know,
you say
I
it?
got to ask you to please put out your cigar. I'll be goddamn, he says.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. So
He said, "Why do I have to put out?" I think he said, I'll be goddamn. What do I got to put out my cigar for?" I says, "Because our corps commander requests that nobody smoke in the office."
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
yeah, that's cool.
I don't remember exactly how I said it, but
So, okay, so how the hell did this development of this Abrams tank transpire, and how did you guys select General Dynamics or whatever?
I don't know how the decision was made. I do know that they made the decision, and there had to be some approval by. I think the Corps Commander wanted General Patton's input because he was the commander of the 3rd Armored Division.
3rd Armored Division. So
Yeah, the tank.
he actually knew about tank battles?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So General Patton Jr. knew about tank
Yeah,
battles.
he was a tank commander. I mean, 3rd Armored Division was the biggest tank division in Germany,
Okay. Right.
and that was his assignment. I don't know if he ever did make a 3rd star or not.
Okay. Well, we may have to
We
find out.
could find that out. But anyway,
So, yeah.
so back to the Sergeant Major Van Autreve. We worked together pretty regularly in the capacity because, as you know, he was a senior non-commissioned officer for the Corps. He got me interested in going on a bowling team with him.
Okay.
You know, little politic in there, and I was married to your mother at the time.
Which was a disaster for your Army career in many ways.
But here's
'cause-
another
'cause
thing
of her mouth.
interesting. Here's another thing interesting that happened.
Yeah.
The general had 2 drivers, 2 enlisted drivers. One guy's name was Box, and I can't remember the other guy's name.
Box, B-O-X?
B-O-X.
Like Alan Box?
Yeah,
But not related?
not related.
What? I've never heard of another Box besides Alan
Yeah,
Box.
yeah, this was Box. Okay,
And Alan Box was your captain.
but anyway,
captain
get
roommate.
this. The
After my
other
mom's
driver was a cook for me in Vietnam.
Okay.
You remember I told you I was a platoon sergeant?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a cook, and he was an E5. He was an E5 when I knew him in Vietnam. And
Right.
now I'm a
Now you're E6.
E6. I outrank him.
Mm-hmm.
But he had gotten into a bar fight
Where? In Vietnam? Somewhere?
somewhere within the 2.5 years after I'd been out, whatever. He'd gotten in a bar fight, and he had ended up going to Stockade.
Okay.
He'd gotten busted in rank,
Right.
and somehow or other he linked up with Van Autreve,
Right.
and Van Autreve makes him a general's driver. Actually, he was the wife's driver. Box was the general's driver. The General Desibre's wife, this guy, was the driver for her,
Okay.
and she had her own driver.
Okay.
And they were both kind of like enlisted aides or valets
All right.
for the general. I was not an enlisted aide. I was he had a train, he had a plane, he had 2 staff cars, 2 drivers.
He had his own military plane accessible?
Yeah,
No kidding. Okay.
yeah. General officer of the Corps has an own military plane.
Okay.
Yeah, in country.
Right. Okay.
It was I think it was twin engine Beechcraft or something like that.
Okay. So how long did this Abrams tank process carry on?
Well, all the way through the development.
I mean, how long was that?
Well, this
Weeks
was, this
or
was
months?
this was like 1973, 71 to 72, and I think it came into service somewhere in the 80s.
Okay, but you mean it? So it took years,
Yeah, I'm telling you, the original documents
right?
came off my typewriter.
Right. The original conception
Right.
for the idea to design.
For this tank, for this design.
So probably
I saw the prototype of it, what it looked like, and
right.
you know, the armor and everything, and it was just a matter of deciding which engine they were going to put in.
So basically, engineers or somebody got together with people and they just
Yeah.
came up with this, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, all this information is there and being discussed
Exactly.
more, being
And it was all
discussed more.
secret information
Top secret information.
because because of the thickness of the hull and the components that were going into the tank.
Right.
You didn't want to have them compromised.
Right. And the Abrams tank is still being used now, right?
Yeah, it's our main battle tank.
It's our main battle tank. So basically, started being designed in '73.
Yeah, 71, 70 to see.
So yeah, 70 had to be 71 or 2,
Yeah,
or there.
yeah. You
before
were a
that.
little guy. You were a little guy.
Yeah. Okay. When did you leave? When did you leave Germany?
Well, twice. I left
Okay.
Germany
Well, I know
twice.
you left Germany twice, but the last time, when did you leave
I
Germany?
came back in 73 or
6?
4.
No, because you went to Fort Leonard Wood after Germany, didn't you? No, you went to Fort Benning.
I came back in 1974 to go to officer candidate school.
Okay, from Germany.
Mhm.
But so you weren't an officer when you were married to my mom?
I was both enlisted and an officer. I went back to Germany like in 75 or 76.
Okay.
We were divorced in 78. Or was it?
No, it was before that. You were divorced before '78.
Yeah, probably.
Because you were divorced when I was 4 or 5. Which is
We
it?
were at least 5.
You think so? 5?
I've been 76.
Okay. Where'd you come back to? Fort Benning.
Yeah.
Okay. You came back to Fort Benning, and after Fort Benning, you went to Fort Leonard Wood.
No, after Fort Benning, I went back to Germany.
You did?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You went to You went back to Germany after you were already divorced. After you came to the United States after you were divorced, and then you went back to Germany.
Yeah.
That would have been a third time. Because you went to Germany twice when you had the Alabama house.
That's right.
Okay, so you didn't go to Germany 3 times.
No.
Okay, so you're getting your years mixed up. Because after you divorced my mom, you'd not come back to Germany. You just,
I stayed in Germany.
Yeah, you
I
stayed in
married
Germany.
Suzanne.
but you didn't marry her there, right? No, you
Yeah, I
weren't
did.
yeah, you married her in what, France?
No. Basel,
Switzerland. Switzerland. That's right. What town is Switzerland?
Basel.
Basel.
B-A-S-I-L.
Basel, Switzerland. See, I bet you Ryan didn't know that. Huh? You know that?
No, I knew they got married overseas, but
Yeah, Switzerland. I remember the wedding pictures.
Well, here's the interesting thing about it. Your mother contested the divorce.
Did she really?
Oh, yes.
Why?
Well, the big thing was a custody issue.
Right?
I had to fly back. She hired a guy,
Katz. Attorney Katz.
Katz,
Yeah, I remember you saying his name. in the
Jewish
past.
guy.
Yeah, had to be Jewish.
and so I had understood. Well, first of all, I filed for the divorce in Kentucky because that was my home of record when I first came back from Germany,
Because of your parents' address.
because your grandparents had moved from
Jamestown to Madisonville, Kentucky.
to Madisonville, Kentucky.
What
so
road
that
did-
became my home of record.
What
when-
road did they live on in Madisonville? Do you remember the name of that road?
No,
Oh, crap.
I don't remember that.
Do you remember what it was off of or what highway?
Well,
it
they
was
had
on?
2 houses in Madisonville. They bought a 2-story house. They sold it. They made some money on it. Then they bought the other house.
the big house. Well,
Yeah.
where was that? If I wanted to look it up again, how do I
I
find it?
don't know.
Oh,
I don't
crap.
remember. Can't tell you.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so I had to come back to settle the issues regarding the divorce because she claimed that I didn't have a jurisdiction to become divorced in the Kentucky. Now Kentucky did the divorce, but they wouldn't rule on the custody.
Right, okay.
So she hired Katz to fight for custody. I came back from Germany, flew in. I'm in a courtroom, and some sheriff comes walking into the court while I'm on the stand. Judge wants to know what this is all about. and he claims that it was big. I was there under bigamy charges.
Okay.
She had filed a bigamy.
Oh, because of Ellen Box, which was really Alan Box.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, so and that really cracked up the court clerk.
Did you say Alan Box is 6'3" and
Yeah, I did. I explained who Alan Box was, not Ellen Box. But she had her facts all screwed up.
he was your
And, but
military
bigger than
roommate.
that,
Yeah.
they wouldn't give me. You know, this is the opening day, and so they recessed. But she had put a requirement for a bond on me for $10,000 to see you. I didn't get to see you then.
Yeah.
So it wasn't but about so halfway through my week-long leave, I didn't get to see you
Yeah.
until we got that bond issue straightened out, and the judge dismissing the charges, recognizing that the divorce had occurred,
Yeah.
and so then there was this issue settlement of who was going to maintain custody or whatever.
So she pulled some
Was a real
pretty screwed up
bitch.
some pretty screwed up stunts.
She was a real bitch.
Yeah, I know. I kind of feel like that too. kind of. No,
But
there's
I
no
hate
kind
to
of
say
about
that,
it.
deceased and all, and
Yeah, but she was not. She
at
was,
that
she
time
was,
it was not a good thing.
Yeah.
And so I went back to Germany. I think Suzanne didn't make the trip back with me.
Okay.
I don't think we were. Yeah, we were married. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So anyway, what do you want to know?
Well, your Bronze Star in Vietnam,
Mm-hmm.
was that related to the mission where you went through the various towns
Yeah,
to
probably.
get the
Yeah. Yeah.
deliver
Call for fire on those gooks.
well, we don't want to call them gooks.
Getting fired on going through town, doing a Tet offensive.
Yeah.
The delivery, first of all, taking command of the company and making an independent decision to get that done.
Right.
I had 2 gun jeeps, front and back, took 7 dump trucks to the depot, loaded the material, took it to the air base, under a mortar attack, dropped the shit off there, shoved it onto those C-130s and hauled ass out of there.
Yeah.
And nobody got hurt.
No.
Nobody got shot.
What were you loading on the C-130s? There was something
Heavy timbers
heavy timbers that they couldn't get.
and bridge building materials.
Heavy timbers they couldn't get from somewhere else. And where were they flying them to? Just some other part of Vietnam?
Yeah. Yeah, to the north. There were a couple rivers up there where we were, this was in this is in December. Johnson had halted the bombing of Laos and Cambodia and halted the heavy 2,000-pound bombs along the border between Vietnam and Laos. And we were getting hit with all kinds of brand new shit. I mean, the paint on the mortars and the rockets.
Hadn't even drive from Russia
It
or
was
whatever.
just, there were like brand new stuff coming in.
Or
on
China.
us. Yeah. Yeah, all of that. It was all brand new stuff. I mean, the shrapnel, when the mortars and the rockets would hit in our area, most of this was at night, So you go out the next day, and what we did with the dump trucks, we had 27 5-ton dump trucks. We would tilt the beds up to deflect the mortars as they came in.
Right.
And so they were a bit of a protection. But if they ricochet or hit those beds of those trucks, the shrapnel will be like, maybe 1 inch, 2 inches wide and 10 inches long.
Mm-hmm.
Razor sharp.
Wow.
I mean, every piece of shrapnel was just like a razor blade.
Yeah. Especially when it's traveling through the
and
air.
a 1/4 inch thick stuff.
Wow.
From the casings. We get 107 millimeter rockets, 122 millimeter rockets. 107 millimeter rocket was about 4 feet long, and a 122 was about 6 feet long, with a significant warhead on them.
Okay.
And but the paint, I mean, even the lettering showed up in some of that stuff.
Wow.
Green
Yeah. Wow.
painted stuff. So we knew it was coming in by caravans down into the south.
Right.
Where was I going with this? Oh, so anyway, same thing happened when I left Vietnam with the mortars and the rockets coming in on the air base in Saigon. So that was in March. I left in March of 1969.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me you could have got some SKSs, right?
Oh yeah, we had some guy came into the. We had a canopy area and benches for holding to get onto the airplane. We had our duffel bags and all of our stuff to take onto the plane. This DC-8 comes in. It was a World Airways charter. Did I say DC-8?
Yeah.
Yeah, DC-8, big airplane, and they had a ramp that they brought out. We could climb up, go up the ramp to get in the airplane. Well, some guy came in with 2 or 3 cases of SKSs, all in Cosmoline, brand new rifles that they pulled out of,
Somewhere.
Yeah.
You think
And
they
he
were
was
Chinese
selling
or
them for
Russian?
$20 a piece.
I thought it was 10. You sure it wasn't 10?
I'm not sure.
I think it was 10.
Was it 10?
10 years ago it was $10.
Probably.
You probably are adjusting for inflation in this age.
Yeah, anyway, it was cheap.
Yeah.
And I could have picked up 2 of them. I was just about ready to buy them when we started getting mortars coming in on the airbase. And the plane guy fires up the engines on the airplane, and some guy says, "Get on that airplane." And half the duffel bags and shit was left behind. I don't remember how much I left behind. I'm sure I left a bag behind. And took off. I think I only took a small bag with me.
Mm-hmm.
We had to run, and the damn plane started taxiing.
Mm-hmm.
Guys were running up that ramp trying to jump into that airplane. We left that airport with only half a load of people.
Wow.
Okay. Now the plane had been filled up with beer
Oh yeah.
for a full load.
For a full load.
You know, so we had
You had plenty of beverages.
to drink and plenty to eat on the plane.
And where were you destined for?
We were destined for Australia.
Okay. And you were done.
No. We were destined for Guam.
So you're
On the
done.
way home.
You're done with Vietnam at this point in time.
Done with Vietnam.
That was the last time you were in Vietnam.
when I got on that plane.
But you went twice to Vietnam, didn't you?
No, I went on a leave to Australia.
So you went on a leave earlier to Australia. Then you
In
came back.
January, I came back.
And what year would that have been?
That would have been in 1969.
So when did you
I
first
celebrated my 21st birthday
in Australia?
in Sydney, Australia.
Okay. And you did pick up a little action.
Yeah, I got
on
a
that
little
trip.
action down there.
I got you. Okay, that's I understand. So, when did you first enter Vietnam?
March 18th, 1968.
Okay, so March 18th, 1968. So then you only had to leave. Did you come home to the United States at all while you were in Vietnam?
No, I went to Hawaii to meet your mother
Okay.
in September of 1968.
And where did you marry my mother?
I
St.
married
Louis?
her at Scott Air Force Base.
That's right. Scott. I remember Scott Air Force Base.
Illinois.
That's right. I remember seeing the wedding photos. Okay. So then when did you finally leave Vietnam? When was that?
I think it was the 21st of March,
Of what year?
69.
So you were just there for 69, or did I get my years wrong?
I was there from March of 68.
68. March of 68.
69.
March of 69. So you spent about a year.
A year and 3 days.
A year and 3 days. Okay. Wow. Now you said one time the base or the compound, for lack of a better description, construction place was bombed
Several times.
One night somebody died.
Yep.
Somebody you knew died.
December the 8th.
December 8th of 68.
8.
Somebody you were.
Yeah, he helped me carry a machine gun, a 50 cal machine gun, up to the perimeter. And
he under mortars and rockets, and that's when I had that rocket come in and gave me a bloody ear, and he hit the ground and vomited and regurgitated his vomit, and I carried him back, but he died
Yeah.
during the rocket attack. And that's kind of what they couldn't figure out. That's why I had to go back to that mortuary down in Long Bend so many times, because not only did they lose the dog tags, but they didn't see any marks on it. They couldn't figure out, what happened to this guy. I don't know how long they'd been there before they did any autopsy or anything, but
What was his name?
Barnum.
That's his last name, Barnum.
Yeah, Barnum.
Remember his first name?
No, I don't remember his first name. I called him Barnum all the time with respect for. And he worked in the motor pool, I think. He was kind of a wimpy guy. I had to coerce him to help me get that machine gun up there. You take a 50 cal machine gun and a box of 50 cal rounds.
It gets heavy.
It's and a tripod. I mean, you're looking at a couple 100 pounds. Well, just the box of ammo probably weighed 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You were trying to talk him into helping you get it carried, right?
Yeah, I had to force him to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that probably.
But he'd been drinking. He'd been drinking at the club and eating pizza and all kinds of stuff. And he was back in the barracks, and I had to drag him out of the barracks to go. So I was fortunate enough to get in the ditch, but we had this gun tower made out of the steel panel bridges, and on top of it we had sandbag position with an overhead cover, kind of like a lookout type thing on the perimeter where we had all those bunkers lined up. And rocket hit that thing, and so he was about maybe 30 feet from me. I was in a low trench, kind of a drainage trench alongside the road that went up to the bunkers. And so he was already on the ground when the rockets came in. So I went ahead and got the gun up to the bunker and put it in. We had gun ports, and then I left it there. And we had the concertina wire out in front of the perimeter, triple strand with food gas drums, with Claymore mines already set and ready.
That's right. You told me about rigging that up. You did a whole lot of special engineering to rig up the security for that.
Yeah.
The fortification and defense.
Yeah, and then there were 18 guys killed that night, plus the commanding general for the 199th Infantry Brigade. And so
what was his name?
I don't remember.
Okay.
He was a brigadier. So when I took Barnum up to the
Carried him up there?
election station, yeah, there was 18 guys dead.
Yeah. How many total people would have been in that little compound base?
I don't know. There was probably a lot more of them.
Probably 100.
Yeah, they took the brunt of the rocket and mortars up there. We were on a perimeter. The other thing that took a lot of hits were the fuel depots. They were trying to blow up those big rubber bladders of fuel.
Yeah.
It was a pretty
significant attack.
significant night.
Yeah. How many other times did stuff like that happen?
Probably 3 or 4.
But that was the worst.
To me, it was.
Yeah. Yeah. And you collected some guns and traded some guns or something. I remember you had a grease gun.
Oh yeah, I had a Thompson. I had a grease gun. I had a 30 cal carbine. I had a M14. I had an M16.
Yeah. 45s.
Yeah, a piece of shit 45.
You had a piece of shit one?
Oh,
It rattled?
the
Your
damn
ears
thing
rattled?
rattled. The barrel on it.
Really?
I couldn't shoot it.
What, you didn't shoot straight? Shoot it
Yeah.
crooked?
I couldn't hit a damn thing with it.
But you're a good shot otherwise. It was the
I
pistol.
was not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I fired up 100 rounds to that thing and couldn't even hit a target.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Good gracious.
That was a bad gun.
You had a piece of junk. You needed to drop that in the river somewhere and get you another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my issue weapon too. So I got rid of that. Oh, I also had a 12 gauge pump shotgun.
A military issue 12 gauge Winchester?
Winchester.
Model 500 or something like that, or whatever it was?
Yeah, I took that on a supply run.
Okay.
Oh, and I had a M79 grenade launcher too.
Oh, yeah?
I was damn good with an M79 grenade.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that fires an HE round
Okay.
or canister round
All right.
or flare round. There are three,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, I appreciate you getting a little bit of touch of the Vietnam stuff again and the details. And I can't remember the previous interviews. I need to check out the discs again and review them from our move and everything. Thanks, Dad. Well, I guess we'll pick up next time when you're not so tired. I'll have to come up with some more this year.
Well, the military career, looking back on it, I've been out of service longer than I was in a retired mode now. But it was a good career. And, I regret that I didn't stay in. I know that I could have become a general officer. And especially knowing that I had gotten picked up for lieutenant colonel and was on the promotion list for lieutenant colonel when I retired. That was a significant accomplishment because not only did I get that consideration, but I had been considered for a battalion in Korea. And it was because of the notice that I got from the commanding general of the Quartermaster Corps that I'd been selected to go to Korea and finish first of all, to go back to the Command and General Staff College and finish the coursework that I'd started. That would have been at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. And following that assignment, I would have gone to Korea, promoted lieutenant colonel, but they didn't tell me that part of it. But I did know that I was going to be picked up for a battalion. And Suzanne didn't want me to go.
Right.
And so then the other alternative was when I was going to retire, the commanding general of Japan, his name was, God, I can't remember his name now. But I knew him. I'd been over to Japan 3 times. And he offered me a GS-14 job and his staff. Good salary, GS-14's good salary, plus $1,000 a month for living allowance for a 2-year assignment in Japan as a civilian. And decision was made that nobody wanted to go to Japan for family reasons, for grandparents' reasons. So I did the best thing I could, and that was become a real estate agent.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, we found out, or you found out, that you were commissioned as a colonel in 1983, but you retired in 1987 as a major because they never got to the damn list.
1988.
You retired in 88. Wow. You think you're eligible for any back pay?
No.
No, because they just never got there.
You gotta pin it on.
I got
You
you.
gotta go through the
So
ceremony.
Congress commissioned you as a colonel in '83,
Lieutenant Colonel.
lieutenant colonel, but just
I
never.
thought it was 88.
No. It was before you retired from the military. It was several years before you retired from the military,
I never got that notice.
or maybe it was '86.
Yeah, I think it was 86.
I think it was '86.
It was the
Yeah, it was a year before you retired, or
Yeah.
one and a half,
Yeah.
2 years before you retired. Yeah. When did you make captain? What year?
oh god, I don't know. I was lieutenant for an awful long time. They had changed the promotion.
Okay. well,
Probably
did you make captain in Fort Leonard Wood, or in Germany?
uh, I don't remember.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to tell you then. I don't know how to help you remember. What about major? Where'd you make major at?
I made major at
Idaho?
no, Fort Lewis.
Fort Lewis. After Idaho?
Yeah,
Okay. You taught our OTC at Idaho.
yeah. I was a captain there.
What was, you had a friend that was a Native American. What was that person's name? Do you remember that person's
Where
name?
was this at?
Idaho. Student friend.
I don't remember.
You don't remember the student friend's name?
No, I still have a problem with some of my memory from having had that operation in 1989,
I think it was 90s, wasn't it? 90s?
1990,
Yeah.
1999, I guess.
He had prostate surgery for prostate cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nearly died because he cut off the circulation to your legs.
And probably I lost memory too.
Okay. Well, you did a pretty damn good job otherwise tonight.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts?
Glad Ryan showed up. You still awake?
Yeah, he's been snoozing over there.
Barely.
Levi and
You don't like listening.
Levi,
No, I was listening.
Levi and Aaron.
That was my grandson.
This is your dad in June. If I can get it focused right. There we go.
Hey, thanks for the boat motor.
This is your dad in June of 2023. This is him. Aaron's how old's Aaron? 3.5. He calls it. I'm in between.
It's almost 4.
He's almost 4. He just says I'm in between. And Levi, little Levi,
It's 1.
he's 1. He's almost walking.
He's just over there taking steps tonight.
Oh, he actually took some.
He got up to 4 steps tonight.
He got 4 steps because the last few days he's been purposefully stopping and dropping on his butt,
No, today he was
acting like he can't do it.
today he was all excited about it.
He was excited about it. He figured it out. I wanted before I left for him to start walking.
He first walked.
This is his first walk. What is today's date? Today, I know it's
Yeah,
what,
it's not
Friday?
his first walk. He's been taking some steps.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, cool. Well, Levi and Aaron, it's been fun getting together with you this last couple of weeks and seeing you as young little human beings. This is your Uncle Bro Steve. That's right. All right. Dad, thank you. I love you. You've been a good dad to me.
Oh yeah, thank you very much.
Been a good dad to me, bud. I love you.
You
All right.
guys are doing all right, aren't you? Right.
All right, take care.